are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace.
Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast, and welcome to our special Behind the Geeks episode for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. If you're joining us for the first time, we are Geekcentric, a podcast focusing on the world of movies, TV shows, games, toys, and collectibles, and all things geek-centric. Joining me for this Behind the Geeks episode, he belongs in a museum. He's the archaeologist who's uncovered the treasure within my heart. He's Dr. Kevin, the Kali Ma Hudson.
Are you saying I'm old or something? That I
No,
belong
not
in a
necessarily.
museum. I'm a relic from the past. I belong
He's a
behind
relic
glass. So kids on school field trips can stare and point at me.
Hey, what better life would be out there for you, you know?
Maybe if I'm one of those beautifully ornate pieces of history, I'll take that. That's how I'll picture it.
There we go. They'll make statues after you. That's what it is.
That's a
You're
lot of marble.
statuesque human, I think.
That's a lot of marble.
Yeah. In this interview, we asked our guests, who we're gonna talk about in a moment. We do this thing where we pretend like people don't know who we've talked to, but if they read the title of the episode, they already know. We asked them if they were to recover from the set of this movie a famous relic, whether they would choose Indy's hat or his whip. Kevin, for yourself, which one would you go for?
That's so tough. Like, he's such an iconic character that at this point, like, I can just picture a fully black silhouette of him. But in that silhouette, there's the hat. He's holding his whip all bound up, They're just so both intrinsically tied to the character. But the way Indy never leaves his hat behind. I mean, he's willing to get his arm chopped off by closing temple doors to make sure he recovers that hat. So that's clearly the prized possession. So I'm going for the hat because the two are tied for me, but for him, I think the hat takes it all. So I'm going for the hat.
See, I'm going for the hat, but for a little bit of a different reason. I think I don't have the mental or physical dexterity to yield a whip. Like, have you whipped things before, Kevin?
I've done it with like an extension cord for fun or something. You know what I mean? But and almost took out an eye. There is no, he gets that little scratch on his chin in Last Crusade, and that we learn that's where he gets the little scratch. The first time he ever wields a whip. That's all. Just a little nick on his chin. I am taking out an eyeball. I'm doing something horrible. I'm horribly maiming myself. I'm not going near a whip, man.
Yeah. And I think the hat would be nice too, because the hat, as you said, it's instantly recognizable. You get so many people being like, yo, that's such a good replica. And you could be like, nah, brah. It's the real deal.
The only problem is my head is too big. I'd never be able to wear it.
It wouldn't fit. Mine too.
God,
I don't think my head will fit inside that thing either. Anyways, Kevin, I would love, if you don't mind, we're kind of beating around the whip. We're
whipping around the bush.
There you go. Can you tell our lovely listeners who we were joined by for this special Behind the Geeks episode?
As we mentioned in the interview to our wonderful guests themselves, the Indiana Jones franchise is so renowned for its villains and for its awesome side characters. And so we got three of those such characters. We've got Shaunette Renée Wilson, Boyd Holbrook, and I always like to put the in front of a guy of this kind of magnitude, the Mads Mikkelsen.
You almost wonder if he's knighted. Like, he's such a cool guy. I'm like, is it Sir Mads Mikkelsen?
I think that's more of a British thing for the most part.
So he's not allowed to become a Sir if he's not from the UK?
What? I would not go out and say definitively that that's the case, but that would be my guess.
If anyone's going to figure out how to become a Sir, it's him.
It would be the Mads Mikkelsen. Exactly.
The Mads Mikkelsen. I love it. Yeah, Shaunette plays Agent Mason. Boyd plays Kleber, and Mads plays Jürgen Voller. the villains of the movie. And I think I'm still freaking out that we got to speak to the Mads Mikkelsen, who is just the coolest. He gives an even cooler answer for a question that I know both of us were not expecting that answer. Like, I didn't know how to respond.
No. I mean, afterwards, it's like, oh, what else would he answer to that question?
True.
But at the time, it was like, oh, damn.
Really? And, I wasn't expecting that we'd get so many, able to ask them so many questions. It felt like we had more time than we were anticipating. But I'm glad you were right there along with me, Kevin. If I was either your sidekick or you were mine. And I do want to mention that in the video version of this interview, which is now up on YouTube, go over there. Like, listen to this if you want, but, go over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Geekcentric. You can check out there's a secret Easter egg hidden somewhere in the video. If you're feeling adventurous, if you're like a treasure hunter, go over to that video, leave a comment to tell us, what you found. But for everyone else who's driving or flying a plane or riding a horse, who can
I really
only
hope there's
listen
no
to us.
pilots listening to us right now. They got a lot of instruments to
They
focus
got a lot
on.
to focus on? Maybe. I think those things fly themselves these days. But listen, please enjoy our interview with Shaunette Renée Wilson, Boyd Holbrook, and Mads Mikkelsen. Hey, Shaunette, Boyd, and Mads. My name is Nate.
And I'm Kev.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today on the Geekcentric podcast. How are you all doing?
Good.
Good. Solid.
Awesome. Well, you three were absolutely fantastic in the film. And, it's really cool. You might even call it destiny to be talking to you on the exact day that Raiders of the Lost Ark was released 42 years ago. And one of the reasons that these movies have endured all this time is because of the dastardly villains and memorable side characters. What was it like stepping into some of those roles? Shaunette, why don't we start with you?
I think it was pretty incredible. I mean, I don't think I've seen a character that looks like me in the franchise, and to come in during the 1960s, there's uproar, there's a racial uproar, there's tension of war, there's incredible scientific feats, and just to be amongst that in my role as this field agent was pretty bizarre, but also really cool to be the first to kind of represent that within the franchise.
Absolutely. And Boyd, Mads, you've got some big shoes to fill in your roles in this movie. What was that like?
Well, it's surreal, right? I mean, believe it or not, I was around 42 years ago. I watched it, and you're just watching something that just blew you away. That had no idea I wanted to be an actor or anything. I just wanted to be that guy up on the screen, the good guy. So here I am. But it was surreal. I'm just super proud of being part of this and wrapping this absolutely fantastic journey up.
Very cool. Boyd, filming for Dial of Destiny took place in a number of locations, including the UK, Italy, Morocco. Did you have a favorite place to hang out while you guys were making the movie?
Yeah, I think the best place for us, for me at least, was in Morocco, because we shot this over the pandemic, and so usually we're basically in hazmat suits doing rehearsals or whatever, and then we get to Morocco and it's like, hey, nothing's going on here. So it's a breath of fresh air to behave openly without masks on or anything like that.
Much more relaxing.
Yeah.
Well, this question's for all three of you. As everyone knows, Indiana Jones hates snakes. What is your why'd it have to be that terrifies you most?
I hate snakes. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but in Kentucky, there's a lot of snakes. You have to be careful.
I'm pretty. I'm facing my fear, but I'm pretty afraid of heights. I'm 5'10". I got a long way to go down, so heights I think will be mine.
Nothing from us.
Zombies? I don't know. I mean, you can always find yourself being afraid of things, but a zombie. That I do think about zombies.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were just talking before we came on the interview about VR and what it's like to be in VR. Did you guys ever consider using VR to face some of those fears?
Oh,
Well, that would freak me out, but yeah. Actually, yeah.
Maybe that's
See that.
Maybe that's a new therapy. That's just around the corner. Yeah.
There we go. Finally, kind of a fun question. If you were feeling a little bit like Indy and you wanted to take an iconic relic from the set of this movie, maybe one that belongs in a museum, what would you personally go for? His hat or his whip? What do you think?
I'm definitely taking the whip.
Definitely taking that whip. Yeah.
Dominating.
Oh, well, the hat. I'll go for the hat. But he seems to be holding on to it a lot.
Yeah, it'd be a struggle for sure.
Very cool, very cool. And I guess I wanted to just ask: is there a particular moment from while you were making this movie for all three of you that you feel particularly proud that you were able to contribute to the film?
Oh, well, everything. I mean, I think that we struggle a little to take off our fanboy hat because you were just in the midst of something that you loved so much. The sets, the iconic characters, everything. I wasn't really part of this. When I met Harrison the first time, I didn't really meet him. I met Indiana Jones because we all had a dress rehearsal, and he just came out of the trailer. That was the first time I said hi to him. Hat, jacket, whip. I was like, this is weird.
Shaunette, how about for yourself?
I think the big sequence in New York, I'm a New Yorker, and to see a bit of time traveling back to the 60s and what they were able to do in Glasgow was just so incredible. So the huge, sequence that we had in New York was fantastic to be a part of.
Very cool. Awesome. Listen, Boyd, I'm sorry they are wrapping us, but we'll get you next time. It was awesome getting to chat with all three of you. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see what you all do next.
Thank you. Have a good one.
And we're back. Zombies, Kevin. Matt has a fear of zombies.
And like I said before, at first I was taken off guard, but when it comes to somebody as cool as him, it has to be something ridiculous to scare him. It couldn't be the normal human stuff that scares the rest of us, heights
snakes
and bugs. And no, it's freaking zombies. Because that's the only thing that could take Mads down.
Seriously, the Mads. I kind of want a movie where Mads is fighting a bunch of scary classic horror characters, and then he's doing so with ease. He's not scared at all. And then a bunch of zombies appear, and he goes, "Zombies? Why'd it have to be zombies?"
Amazing,
so
amazing. So that would have made this movie maybe an even better experience.
I think so. Let's get some zombies. I mean, people got upset about aliens, so I don't know how they'd feel about zombies.
Well, once you've gone the
Indiana
alien
Jones
route, you can do anything you want, man. Let's get Sasquatch in there. Let's get Loch Ness, anything.
I'm telling you, I'd watch a movie like that. I also really enjoyed his story of not really meeting Harrison Ford, but meeting Indiana Jones. I think I really enjoyed sort of his nostalgia for the series, and I thought that was so cool. The idea of you're not meeting Harrison Ford right now, you're meeting Indiana Jones. It's just,
right, especially given
that's epic.
He talked about growing up a fan of the franchise himself. I mean, he would have been, I'm trying to do some quick math here, but he would have been in his teens when that first Indiana Jones movie came out. And so to now, he might seem a bit older for us, but when you compare yourself to Harrison Ford, that he would have watched him growing up, and then to not meet Harrison, like you said, but to meet Indiana Jones first would have been something else.
That's crazy. And I felt for him too. I felt when he's like, I wanted to be the big guy on screen. I wanted to be the good guy, and here I am, the bad guy. And I was like, oh, I feel so bad. But thankfully, because he plays a lot of bad guys, but thankfully he has played one of my favorite good guys, who I guess was technically a bad guy, but only because he was forced to, Galen Erso. But, without him, spoilers for the original trilogy of Star Wars, but it would have been a very different trilogy had it not been for his character.
He's one of those unsung heroes, absolutely.
Yeah. Kevin, it's crazy that we got to chat with him on June 12th, the exact day that Raiders was released 42 years ago. Of course, as you're listening to this, it'll be a little further into the future. We've been sitting on this one for a little while, but I think it was really, that was such a cool feeling to have while chatting to these folks who are joining the franchise for the first time.
I remember I woke up and was, doing a little Twitter scroll, and one of the Twitter, feeds that I follow. The first sentence was, "On this day 42 years ago," and I thought, oh my God. And before I could text you out of excitement, you texted me saying, "Oh, by the way," and we were both going, "That's so cool." Like, it just, like I made the joke in the interview, it felt like destiny.
So good. And then Shaunette coming into this franchise as the first character who looks like her, like she brought that up, and it should not have taken 42 years, but she is such a badass in this movie with her character of Agent Mason. And she was so lovely in this chat. I loved when she says domineering. When she says that she would, take Indy's whip, and the look on Mads' face, he's so shocked.
Yeah, he almost hurt his neck there. Like,
if you haven't already, again, go watch this interview on YouTube. You can also check out our TikTok or Instagram at We Are Geekcentric if you want to see some of these moments in video form as well. We've taken some and sort of clipped them out and highlighted them. But that is it for this Behind the Geeks episode. Again, I'm, huge thank you to Disney Studios Canada for letting us take part in these interviews. So just talking to people that we'd never imagine in a million years that we'd ever actually get to talk to. And so it was such a wonderful time. Kevin, do you have anything else before we wrap up?
No, I mean, I think you said it so well. Anytime we get to do this, it seems like every time, these names are jumping off the page when we first see that we're getting the opportunity. It's like, wait a minute, really? We get to talk to this person or that person or these people? Really? Is this real
or this
life?
person with this person with the in front of their name?
The italicized the in front of their name? It's crazy.
So good. But that is it for this Behind the Geeks episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to subscribe here on your podcast service of choice, as well as on YouTube at youtube.com/geekcentric. We also have our Discord open if you want to chat with us about this interview. Would you take a whip or a hat, or maybe that jacket looks pretty nice too. And we'll have our spoiler-free review out for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny tomorrow, if you're listening to this on the day that we posted it, so you can hear what we thought of the movie. You can hear our entire thoughts either before or after you go out to see it. And then in the Discord, we're going to have a spoiler-filled channel open up the day the movie is released, so we can talk about spoilers. We can talk about some of the big moments. Kevin, thank you so much for joining me for this adventurous Behind the Geeks episode. And as we say, love ya.
Get home safe, guys.